Hello, everyone. I am back again this afternoon with you all to complete my live from this morning. I'm sorry there was some kind of difficulty. I had a very important phone call. I stayed on too long. I had you all waiting. I apologize for that. We are going to talk about the topic that we had this morning when I said the way of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run in, and they are safe. So, we will be talking about like I said, I have some family that are coming in as guests for the weekend, and people are calling me, and that's why we had the interruption. So a lot of phone calls were very, very, you know, bombarded. Okay, it was bombarded. I had a whole lot of phone calls coming in, and that's the reason why I was not able to talk about the live that I had with you this morning. So I'm back in effect, and hopefully we will get to this topic. But we did go into the Lord's Prayer. I hopefully believe we went into the Lord's Prayer this morning when I did do the morning live. Well, just in case, we're going to go into our Father's prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but Lord, deliver us from evil. For thy you are the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Yes, so I was doing a lot of things. I was like washing linen and stuff of that nature. So people that will be staying here at my house, so I will make sure that I have everything that is needed for my guests, um, for my sister's wedding that she will be having this Saturday, this weekend. And there's a whole lot of events taking place. Oh, she's having this extravagant wedding. So I'm just preparing for the family and stuff that'll be staying here at my house. So I have to make sure I do certain things. Then I had to cook breakfast and everything, prepare breakfast for my husband this morning. You know, that's my duty. I'm not working right now, so the least thing I could do is keep a clean house and keep food cooked in my home for a hubby. Okay? The least I can do. He's working two jobs right now, so it's been a lot. Things has been scarce. Okay? So anyway, I think I got my premium back on, so there won't be no more commercial interruptions as I am having this conversation with you all. So hopefully people will start coming in. I'm waiting for everybody to come on in this morning. This afternoon, I mean. Not this morning, but this afternoon. So I'm in the laundry room right now, y'all. Doing some laundry for the household. Ugh, you know, even though these sheets and stuff are clean, I still like to keep them nice and fresh, you know? A fresh smell in the laundry that I'm doing. I don't want to put those colors together. Okay? Sorry, y'all. Just making sure things are being done right around here. Ooh, child. Just gotta clean this filter out. Make sure. Clean the laundry filter. I keep telling my husband, oh, Lord. Waiting for everybody to come on in, come on in. Good afternoon. Who's here with me so far? Hey, Frankie. Hey, love. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Lord. Frankie, I haven't even started yet. I'm just still waiting for people to get on in here. I'm doing laundry. I'm doing so many other things because, like I said, my sister's getting married this weekend. So it's a lot of people coming to the house. A couple of, my auntie and her husband is coming. So I'm trying to prepare the place for her, and my niece is coming. So I'm trying to clean up some space in the house, and make sure I have certain things here for the guests that'll be in my house. One thing you don't want to do is keep a nasty house when people come to your house. So you want to try to make sure things are in order like it should. Things are in order. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's what we do here. Old school. That's what we older people do. Yes. So anyway, we were going to talk about what's going on in today's event current things that are happening. Of course, a lot of you, I know you all heard about the escapees from the prison. This is scary, y'all. This is a very scary, scary thing because I think people should be aware of what's going on because you never know. You know what I'm saying? These people got out of jail. How did they do this? How were they able to escape from the detention holding place they was in? These people were murderers and whatever, and the families are very scared right now. The people are very scared about this. Here's their faces right here. I'm going to show you their faces. Here's the criminals. They say these guys are still on the loose. They have not been found yet. So I know a lot of people are very scared about this. I'm frightened about it, even though I'm not even in the state. But you never know how they traveling. Who's helping them? Who actually allowed these people to get out? And look at the time schedule. But we're going to hear it about the time and everything that these people were able to get out of this place. This is not a good feeling, y'all. When these criminals are able to get help from the inside to get outside. One of them, I saw him running with his blanket and his pillow and everything. I mean, homeboy had his pillow, teddy bear, everything. So basically, they had somebody outside waiting for them to help them to escape. Now, they said they caught 3 of them, but there's still 7 of them that still are out there. So it's important that the public is informed about what's going on. And I said, well, maybe I could talk about this on my channel just to inform the public. If you are in the Louisiana area right now, you are in danger. It's scary. I hope the people, the victims, I hope that the victims of these people are being actually secure in safety. They are somewhere safe where they can't be harmed by these criminals. These are some tough dudes. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in the laundry room doing laundry. So you're going to hear a lot of banging and stuff like that going on as we walk. Been doing a lot of stuff around the house today before I came back here on this live with you. But this is a scary, scary feeling, y'all. And I'm praying and hoping that they be found really soon, or whoever they are, that these families and everything are be in safety, the victims. That's who I'm concerned about right now. I'm concerned about these victims of these people being on the loose and nobody know where they at. Nobody know where they at. And, oh, Lord Jesus, people texting me. Yeah, so y'all, no commercials are going to be interrupting us because I fixed that problem today. Thank God. I'm trying to cook dinner. Dinner's being cooked and everything. Cleaning, cooking today, doing laundry. It's a lot. I'm working. I'm on the job, taking care of my home life. But anyway, y'all, like I said, these people are out on the loose. Nobody found them yet. They said there's 7. There was 3 already brought in custody, but they still have 7 of them out on the run. And these guys here are the faces. First of all, I see anybody with a tattoo face, I already know. You know what I'm saying? Even if they weren't one of the faces here, I just stay away from the tattoo face. Tattoo face right there already tell me you don't give a so and so about whatever comes around you. You are going, I don't know, understand. A person with a tattoo on their face already telling you who they are. That's a symbol right there. That's an indication. Ain't no way in the world I will date a man with a tattoo on his face. You got to be the most desperate ass woman. They can go anywhere, exactly. Anybody with a face. Now, these other 3 guys, they can probably easily be not identified as criminals because probably went somewhere, cut their hair off, dyed their hair. And whoever's helping them on the outside gave them clothes to change it. I said, what in the world is the Shawshank Redemption of this going on? I call it the Shawshank Redemption. Who saw Shawshank Redemption? Somebody got an idea from the Shawshank Redemption. And the other 3 that probably turned back probably wasn't just part of the 3 that wasn't part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of them, they was part of the plan to keep them stalled. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the 3 that was caught are ones who was supposed to get caught. Because one, they found him finding him by the hotel. What these other 3, these other 7, I mean, they were part of the plan. The deadly 7, the seven deadly sins. Oh yeah, they was part of the plan. Because they haven't been caught yet. And then they had the audacity to write on the prison bathroom around the toilet or whatever. First of all, it has to be an inside job because how come 5 cells? There's 2 people in a cell, right? So in those 5 cells, somebody already told them what to do from the inside. And we don't even know who those people are that help them. We can't really say the cameraman is guilty because you know what? Somebody probably already told them, go get some food. It's your break. Go on your break. You know what I'm saying? Go on your break. Act like you're going to get some food. And that's when they did. And then the time that they noticed that they were gone. Look at the timing of things. This was definitely somebody higher up that did this. It's somebody that's higher up and that's work in that. They might fire. They say, oh, you fire the mayor, fire the chief of staff. Chief of staff probably ain't got nothing to do with it. Somebody is more than one person involved in this whole escape for these people. Somebody probably did think that these men were innocent of the crime and was helping them out. Something is going on. Because you remember in that movie, Shawshank Redemption, remember, that man was in there innocently. He wasn't even part of the crime that he was being accused of. He was an accountant. If you remember the movie, he was an accountant. And there was a lot of corruption going on at that Shawshank Redemption, the Shawshank prison. If you remember that movie, he wasn't even part of the reason why he was there. He was there, and even the people that came to even testify that they were the murderers, the ones who committed the crime, came to say, and remember they killed him. So this may be some corruption going on in these correctional facilities, and these guys are escaping for their freedom to warn the public It might be the opposite around. It may not be them. They may be the people that know there is some corruption going on in that prison and what they doing to those people there. Because remember, the guy from the Shawshank Redemption movie, he was able to get on the outside to tell them the feds what was going on in the prison, some of the things, the corruption of what was taking place. And I truly believe there's some corruption going on. And they asking people to turn them in. You remember that movie, right? Yeah. In that movie, there's some corruption going on in there. There's something that's underhanded, and these people that came out and they working from the inside to catch the criminals that work there. Mm-hmm. There's some criminal stuff going on. There is some criminal stuff going on. I don't know these men. I never seen them in my life. Don't have no connection with them, but I remember that movie. And every time there's a movie that they talk about, there's some kind of truth behind it. And that prison, I don't remember where that prison was when Shawshank Redemption happened. That man was in that jail for all them years. And all the corruption was going on. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why they want them caught is because they want to hide what that's really going on in those jails. And somebody's hiding them out. Somebody got these men in there to hide them out. And the way the plan was set up. Because how they caught 3 and they can't catch the other 7 that's on the run. One had his pillow. He had his blanket. He had his teddy bear. When I saw the video, they showed them running, breaking out of the jail. Let me see. Let me play the video. Let me play this video.
Accountable. This is just not acceptable. I know that they're on the defense right now, but they should be on the defense. I mean, there's just no way something like this should happen.
Anderson, it's certainly a serious situation. These inmates, escaped inmates, are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance video. 12:23 a.m. You can see them right there.
And how was they able
on
to
these
write?
stores, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. And at 1
Look at them
a.m.,
running.
it is at this moment that
Look at that one running with his
monitoring
blanket. Look at
technician
it.
stepped away.
You saw
from
that?
their
You saw that in the video? He running with the blanket, the polo, and everything with him. They getting out.
position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock.
Behind the toilet.
Right here.
Who remember the movie Shawshank Redemption? He went through the toilet. It took him how many years to do it? The timing, he knew something about, oh my God, it's some kind of thing that he used to know the timing, how to get these rocks, how he was building these rocks and everything else like that while he was there. He was in there for quite some time. I think he was in there for a good 30 years.
They scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through.
How they get past the barbed wire? Don't they got a sharpshooter? First of all, they got somebody that's standing on a tower in case somebody is escaping from the prison. There is a sharpshooter. There's a person that my ex of mine's boyfriend that I knew from Joliet. He used to work at the Joliet prison. His uncle or somebody was a sharpshooter. They stand on a tower so they can see when people are trying to escape. So they have sharpshooters. So all those people need to be investigated because I think the whole job is on the inside. It ain't got nothing to do with the people on the outside. It's the inside people.
Sheriff Susan Hudson says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only...
And remember, they got plumbing done, okay? So that means they need to investigate the plumbers as well.
...have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 hours later since their escape. Since this has happened, they have suspended 3 of the employees there pending the outcome of this internal investigation. And the sheriff insisted that the moment they found out, they immediately started calling victims.
The people that they suspended, I don't think have anything to do with it. To be honest with you, it's definitely somebody way higher than them. Way high. For those men to have that many men to escape out of a prison through the way that they escaped and the timing, it definitely got to be somebody at the higher level that's helped them, that's helping them. That's the way I'm looking at it.
And started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now listen to this off the rails, Professor Anderson, and you can see how officials are answering.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail.
I don't think he has anything to do with it.
And how did nobody see them
There are
leaving
over
the jail?
900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the
There are
jail?
over 900 cameras.
No.
900
How did no
cameras.
one see a massive jailbreak? But it's your job. It's your job to monitor
I don't think she
every
has
single
anything
person
to
in
do
this
with it.
facility every day. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having
They
this
the scapegoat.
happen?
We are underfunded, understaffed, underpaid. So we do our best to hire staff and retain them, but like everyone else, we're short.
Nope.
Wow. I mean, Chief Ramsey, it's kind of remarkable. He's saying there's 900 cameras. If there's no one actually watching the cameras or watching the video feed, then that seems initially. Isabel said that it just happened that this person allegedly got up for food at the exact same time that this jailbreak occurred. What stands out to you about this, Chief?
Me personally, they need to start checking the judges. They need to start checking the mayor, and they need to start checking the DA. That office. This is way over the top. Okay, this is way over the top that these people were able to get out. The way they got in the timing of everything and the way the things were done with plumbing and all that other stuff. I think the investigation should go deeper than just the people that work there. Because the people that work there ain't going to risk their life and risk their job of their families and everything else to allow to have that kind of clout to allow these people to break out of prison. It has to be somebody way over the top. Way, way, way over the top.
Well, first of all, that timing's awful suspicious. I mean, you leave to get food at the same time these guys decide to escape. I mean, that is by
And
itself.
for all you
that
know,
tells
these
you
guys
that
could be working for the feds. They could be probably inside just to see what's there, just to be there to set it up, to make it look like they escaped, but these people are undercover working for the feds.
something is just not right. There's no way they could have done this without help from
Exactly.
the inside, and they probably have some help on the outside once they got
Exactly.
out.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. They
Nope.
only caught one so
Nope.
far. There was a 7-hour
Somebody
gap
knows
from the
something.
time they actually escaped to the time they were noticed to be missing, 8:30, and it was another hour before they notified law enforcement. about the
Exactly.
escape.
Yep.
This whole thing it just stinks. It's bad. And somebody's got to be held accountable. This is just not acceptable. I know that they're on the defense right now, but they
don't
should
know
be
who
on
did
the
it.
defense. I mean, there's just no
I know it's
something
way
like this
over the
should
people
happen.
that work there.
And these inmates, escaped inmates, are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance
This is
video.
deep.
12:23 a.m. You can see them right there yanking on these doors, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. Then at 1 a.m., it is at this moment that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away from their position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock, and you can see them right here. This is after they scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through this interstate. Now, the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 hours later.
Didn't I say that? The plumbing? They better check that plumbing company. They need to find out. They need to do an investigation on the plumbing company. Because how was 5 cells able to have a bathroom, a toilet, is how they got loose. Alarm system. They need to examine all those companies that come in to do work at the prison. That's what they need to do. Because these guys did not work alone. They had more help. They had probably a truck or something waiting for them with where they can dye their hair, medical people on the team, all kind of stuff. Food there for them, all kind of stuff. This is a very high sophisticated escape. This is a very strategic move.
Since their escape, since this has happened, they have suspended 3 of the employees there pending the outcome of this
They ain't
internal
got nothing to do with the
investigation. And the
employees
sheriff
there.
insisted that the moment they found out, they immediately started calling victims and started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now, listen to this off the rails presser, Anderson, and you can see how officials are answering.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail.
I won't say no one was watching live video, but
How did nobody see them
there are
leaving the
over
jail?
900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the
There
jail?
are over 900 cameras in
No,
this
it's
facility.
just, how did no one see a massive jailbreak? But it's your job. It's your job to monitor every single person in this facility every day. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having this happen? I mean,
I don't think these
They're
people know anything
underfunded,
about it.
understaffed, underpaid. So we do our best to hire staff and retain them.
I don't think he has
but like
anything to
everyone
do
else,
with
we're
it.
short.
Wow. I mean, Chief Ramsey, it's kind of remarkable. He's saying there's 900 cameras. If there's no one actually watching the cameras or watching the video feed, then that seems an issue. Isabel said that it just happened that this person allegedly got up for food.
Look,
at the exact
I don't
same
think
time
one
that
person
this jailbreak occurred.
can see
What stands out
900
to you about this,
cameras.
Chief?
I'm sorry.
Well,
One
first of all,
person
that
cannot
sounds
see
awful
900
suspicious.
cameras.
I mean, you leave to get.
I don't think one person can't see 900 cameras. If it's 900 cameras and you got one staff working, and this one man got up to go get food, or they all went up and got food. I'm kind of like, let me understand what's going on here. If you got 900 cameras, there should be 900 people on duty. At least maybe 500 or 600 people on duty. I don't know. One person can't see 900 cameras. That's impossible.
Food at the same time these guys decide to escape. I mean, that is by itself tells you that something is just not right. There's no way they could have done this without help from
Thank
the
you.
inside, and they probably have some help on the outside.
Exactly.
They got out. I wouldn't doubt that at all. They've only caught one so far. There was a 7-hour gap from the time they actually.
Who remember the movie Carlito's Way when he had this corrupted lawyer, and that lawyer was so doggone corrupt that he was helping this mobster escape from Rikers Island, and he had a boat. But he ended up killing the mobster because the mobster already knew that he was corrupt and he did some shiesty stuff. So he killed the mobster, and Carlito got, of course, caught up in the mess. Didn't want to really be a part of it, but this lawyer was so doggone, disgusting, which was Sean Penn at the time. Remember that movie Carlito Way, how he helped that man escape and he was in the water and everything to be with the boat and everything. He had the help on the outside and he had the help on the inside for him to escape from that prison, from the detention center. Well, this is actually a holding place. It's not really prison. It's a jail. And it's a holding jail. It's a detention center before they sentence them. And when they sentence them and everything, then they send them off to whatever prison they have to go to do whatever large sentence, large amount of time at. So these people definitely had help from more outsiders than they did on the inside. But the outsiders were able to get the people to come and work on the inside to get them out. They spoke in code. They did everything in code. They did. It's somebody that is very sophisticated on the job. Somebody that's at a high level with the money and all the other things to get these men to break out of this detention center for whatever corruption going on in there. And I think the people that are right now being held responsible probably didn't even really know what was going on. They were just there on the job and they were just not really sure. They don't have a clue what's going on. It's somebody way higher than those people who did this.
Escaped to the time they were noticed to be missing, 8:30, and it was another hour before they notified law enforcement about the escape.
An hour before they notified the law enforcement of the escape. So timing.
This whole thing it just stinks. It's bad. And somebody's got to be held accountable. This is just not acceptable. I know that they're on the defense right now, but they should be on the defense. I mean there's just no way something like this should happen.
Anderson, it's certainly a serious situation.
Me and my husband was talking about this, and my husband said definitely this is from somebody that's on a higher level. Somebody on a higher level who has that type of power, that kind of muscle, to have been able to strategically do this escape. For these guys to get out freely, they probably somewhere on the Virgin Islands, somewhere in another country, sipping wine, watching this shit on YouTube, laughing and doing whatever. Because look how many days it's been now. They probably had ID for them and everything else like that. These guys probably not even in the United States right now. I'm telling you.
Escaped inmates are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance video. 12:23 a.m. You can see them right there yanking on these doors, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. Then at 1 a.m., it is at this moment that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away from their position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock, and you can see them right here. This is after they scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through this interstate. Now, the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 hours later since their escape. Since this has happened, they have...
7 hours? 7 hours? You know how long it takes for them to just get on a plane and get out of the country, and you just discover they missing at 7 hours? Oh, Lord Jesus.
Suspended 3 of the employees there pending the outcome of this internal investigation.
They ain't in the
sheriff
country.
Insisted that the moment they found out, they immediately started calling victims and started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now, listen to this off the rails presser, Anderson, and you can see how officials are answering.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail.
I won't say no one was watching live video, but
How did nobody see them
there are
leaving the
over
jail?
900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the jail?
There are over 900 cameras in
No,
this
it's
facility.
just, how did no one see a massive jailbreak? But it's your job. It's your job to monitor every single person in this facility every day. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having this happen? I mean,
We are underfunded, understaffed, underpaid. So we do our best to hire staff and retain them, but like everyone else, we're short.
Wow. I mean, Chief Ramsey, it's kind of remarkable. He's saying there's 900 cameras. If there's no one actually watching the cameras or watching the video feed, then that seems initially. Isabel said that it just happened that this person allegedly got up for food at the exact same time that this jailbreak occurred. What stands out to you about this, Chief?
Well, first of all, that timing's awful suspicious. I mean, you leave to get food at the same time these guys decide to escape. I mean, that is, by itself tells you that something is just not right. There's no way they could have done this without help from the inside. and they probably have some help on the outside once they got out. I wouldn't doubt that at all. They've only caught one so far. There was a 7-hour gap from the time they actually escaped to the time they were noticed to be missing, 8:30, and it was another hour before they notified law enforcement about the escape. This whole thing it just stinks. It's bad, and somebody's got to be held accountable. This is just not acceptable. I know that they're on the defense right now, but they should be on the defense. I mean, there's just no way something like this should happen.
Anderson, it's certainly a serious situation. These inmates, escaped inmates, are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance video. 12:23 a.m. You can see them right there yanking on these doors, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. Then at 1 a.m., it is at this moment that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away from their position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock, and you can see them right here. This is after they scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through this interstate. Now, the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 started calling victims and started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now listen to this off the rails presser, Anderson, and you can see how officials are answering.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail.
I won't say no one was watching live video, but
How did nobody see them
there are
leaving the
over
jail?
900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the jail?
There are over 900 cameras in
No,
this
it's
facility.
just, how did no one see a massive jailbreak? But it's your job. It's your job to monitor every single person in this facility every day. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having this happen? I mean,
We are underfunded, understaffed, underpaid.
Wow.
Something ain't right
I mean,
here.
Chief Ramsey, it's kind of
don't sound
remarkable.
right,
He's
something
saying
stink.
there's 900 cameras. If there's no one
Something
actually
stink.
watching the cameras or watching the video feed, then that seems initially. Isabel said that it just happened that this person allegedly got up for food at the exact same time that this jailbreak occurred. What stands out to you about this, Chief?
Well, first of all, that timing's awful suspicious. I mean, you leave to get food at the same time these guys decide to escape. I mean, that is, by itself tells you that something is just not right. There's no way they could have done this without help from the inside, and they probably have some help on the outside once they got out. I wouldn't doubt that at all. They've only caught one so far. There was a 7-hour gap from the time they actually escaped to the time they were noticed to be missing, 8:30, and it was another hour before they notified law enforcement about the escape. This whole thing it just stinks. It's bad, and somebody's got to be held accountable. This is just not acceptable. I know that they're on the defense right now, but they should be on the defense. I mean, there's just no way something like this should happen.
Anderson, it's certainly a serious situation. These inmates, escaped inmates, are facing a variety of charges, including violent charges such as murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the timeline and what happened with this brand new surveillance video. 12:23 a.m. You can see them right there yanking on these doors, pulling them off the tracks, says the sheriff. Then at 1 a.m., it is at this moment that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away from their position where they would be visually watching this pod to go grab some food. And that is the moment the sheriff tells us that the inmates exited through a hole in the wall behind the toilet, got into the loading dock, and you can see them right here. This is after they scaled the wall, going past the barbed wire, and then going through this interstate. Now, the Orleans Parish Sheriff, Susan Hudson, says that the cells had defective locks, but they also had evidence of this being an inside job. The plumbing and the rebar that you can see right here had been clean cut with those big bolts removed that could only have happened with outside help, they said. Now, officials discovered that they were missing at least 7 hours later since their escape. Since this has happened, they have suspended 3 of the employees there pending the outcome of this internal investigation. And the sheriff insisted that the moment they found out, they immediately started calling victims and started calling survivors to warn them of what had happened. Now listen to this off the rails presser, Anderson, and you can see how officials are answering.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail.
I won't say no one was watching live video, but
How did nobody see them
there are
leaving the
over
jail?
900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the
There
jail?
are over 900 cameras in
No,
this
it's
facility.
just, how did no one see a massive
That's
jailbreak?
exactly.
But it's your job. It's your job to monitor every single person in this facility every day. Do you want to say you're sorry to the people of New Orleans for having this happen? I mean,
We are underfunded, understaffed, underpaid. So we do our best to hire staff.
Okay, this is
and
being
retain
repeated,
them.
y'all. This is being repeated. We got to move on. We got to move on.
Concerned that he may go after witnesses who testified during his trial.
32-year-old Antoine Massey was being held on domestic abuse and vehicle theft charges. Massey has a history of separate escapes. Records indicate he is wanted in St. Tammany Parish for kidnapping and rape. 19-year-old Corey Boyd is accused of murdering Brandon Fees. 26-year-old Linton Van Buren was being held on a guns charge. He's accused of murder in a separate case where he allegedly shot a man in New Orleans East in 2021. 42-year-old Jermaine Donald was booked on second-degree murder and battery charges. 31-year-old Leo Tate is awaiting trial on burglary, drugs, and weapons charges. 21-year-old Gary Price was arrested in early April and was being held without bail for his alleged involvement in an attempted first-degree murder case.
Governor Jeff Landry increased the reward for information leading to the recapture of the inmates you just saw. He says he's going to cover part of the increase himself.
Jacob Bradford details the efforts to recapture these 7 men.
As the search for 7 inmates charged with violent offenses stretches into day 3, Governor Jeff Landry is increasing the reward, along with State Senate President Cameron Henry.
In addition to the FBI increasing their award from $5,000 to $10,000, I would ask that you go ahead and increase the Crime Stoppers award to $5,000. That's a $3,000 increase. Both Senator Henry and I are going to cover that amount.
Now the reward has increased to $20,000 per inmate. In the wake of the escape, Governor Landry has asked
them
the
pulling
Attorney
on the
General
door.
to investigate how the
They running
brazen
with
escape
polos
happened
and
from the Orleans
blankets.
Justice Center last Friday and who is responsible. He is also having the state's Department of Corrections do an audit of the
Woo!
Justice Center
I
on
never had a love
compliance
for
for
New
basic jail
Orleans. Thank you,
guidelines.
Jesus.
9 of these 10 escapees were sitting in jail waiting to go to trial. Had they gone to trial, had they been convicted, had they been sentenced, they will most likely not be in the Orleans Parish Jail, but in our custody in one of the state penitentiaries.
The governor signed executive orders in the aftermath of the jailbreak.
This executive order will mandate the commission to specify specific review triggers, including reviewing the number of judge trials and acquittal rates in criminal courts. There should be an automatic review of any judge that has a disproportionate number of acquittals, as we have seen here in Orleans Parish.
Another executive order instructs Louisiana's Inspector General to get an inventory of pretrial detainees in the Orleans Justice Center and those awaiting sentences to have them removed.
Like Derek Groves, the escapee, who pled guilty to manslaughter in October of last year and was awaiting sentencing. If he would have been sentenced by our court system, he most likely would not have had an opportunity to escape.
Louisiana State Police Leader Colonel Robert Hodges says family members and friends are helping those that escaped, but says he believes tips will lead to arrests soon.
We're confident this time that we have actionable intelligence on all 7 of those fugitives. And we hope in the coming days, if not the coming hours, that we have them all apprehended.
Family members don't know nothing. Trust me. Because when they doing something like that, they not going to even inform family members because those are the people they don't trust. some of the family members and shit is like scared because they don't want to be involved, you know. So they not gonna trust their family. They know that family is the closest people to them, and the first people they're gonna come looking for them at is with family. So when they doing something like that, they not gonna contact family. Trust me, they not even gonna contact no family, no ex-girlfriend, no nothing. Criminals are very. That's why they criminals, cause they know how to do it without having any tracks. That's what they do. They professionals.
But we need the public's help. One person not at the press conference was Sheriff Susan Hudson. When asked where she was, the governor was blunt.
I don't know. Hopefully, minding the jail.
Mayor Cantrell also spoke, saying that while this is happening, the city is still welcoming people and hosting celebrations, but to remain vigilant.
Our focus remains the same. Manhunt, we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Governor.
And that was Jacob Bradford reporting.
Meanwhile, city and state leaders are calling for an audit of the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office after this jail breakout.
Olivia Vidal joins us now in the studio. That many officials have questions on the response time and then the funding that the Sheriff's Office has. Olivia.
Yeah, that's right. On Friday, it took hours for the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office to alert the public that 10 violent offenders had broken out of the Orleans Parish jail. Now, officials are still waiting for answers as to why it took so long to alert the media and the public. New Orleans City Council Vice President Helena Moreno and State Rep Jason Hughes are now calling on the state auditor. In a letter, the two urged the state auditor to investigate all revenue streams and expenditures at the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. They're also asking the auditor to evaluate current protocols inside the jail, including ethical standards.
Criminals are not going to contact their family. When they professional criminals, first people they not going to be involved is their family. Because the family don't even have nothing to do with them. Because they scared of them. And don't look for nobody that's close to them. The best place you can find them is check every underworld connection. All the underworld knows they people. And they know what they enemies or whoever they rivalries are with. Those are the people they need to be looking at.
Of employees. They also want an examination on how the jail handles escapes and whether protocols for immediate notification of the NOPD and the public were followed.
When it was realized that 10 inmates had escaped and were gone, why wasn't there this big alarm that wrong, where the media was notified, all the law enforcement agencies, outside law enforcement agencies like NOPD, state police were notified,
Yep.
The public was notified.
Right.
These things should have happened immediately as soon as they found out.
Moreno and Representative Hughes are also calling for a third-party investigation, possibly by the district attorney or attorney general, into whether anyone inside the sheriff's office assisted in this escape. Now, on Friday, Fox 8 asked Attorney General Liz Murrell's office if
they're going to have to check every inmate that's in there. Because one of those inmates, not the 3 that they caught, because the 3 that they caught are not involved. They just was escaping because they thought they was going to find an escape. But the ones that are there, that are still in the building, they know something.
AG plans to get involved with this investigation. Her office responded and said more updates could come sometime today, as the focus right now remains on recovering the escapees, public safety, and maintaining security and stability at the jail. Lucy and Kelsey, back to you.
Okay. What I'm saying is that the only way they're going to find these inmates, they got to check with the people that's already there. Somebody in there, they got to go through every one of them one by one from every cell block that heard something. That's the only way they're going to find out. You ain't going to get it from the outside because we don't know what's going on, because we only hearing it from what you report in here. You going to have to check with everybody that's in the prison right now. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. That's some big crime boss that know about these people strategy and the way they did this escape. You ain't gonna get it from people like myself who live in a whole totally different state, don't even know these men, don't never saw these men in my day in my life, don't even know if I'm related to them or whatever. Don't know them. And it's just so many people walking around with a tattoo on their face, like the one they showed that got tattoos on his face. I've always been scared of those people. They connect this to some kind of crime. When you walk around with a tattoo on your face, automatically that's a sign right there. You ain't got no real job and no office and nothing but a tattoo on your face. You ain't got no legal job, whatever it is. I could settle that from. That's an indication right there. The only way you're going to have to do, you're going to check tattoos, you're going to see how people connected to each other, what kind of gang they belong to. Because somebody that's in there knows somebody that's out here that's helping those people to escape. For whatever crime they committing, and something is going on more than they letting the public know. This is more deeper than what the criminals did of being escaping. There's some corruption going on. And somebody that is a big time somebody know these criminals. You know, not just the mayor, governor, councilman. Those are the people you need to be looking at. DAs, even Elon Musk. Hello. I won't put nothing past him. Okay? That these people are connected to. That they was able to make this kind of break out of the prison. Somebody knows somebody. In this world that we live in is not safe. It's wicked. The wickedness for power, money, manipulation. I'm glad I'm just a nobody. I was just trying to tell somebody about Jesus. I put the Proverbs 19 in there. I think it's Proverbs 19. I'm gonna check to see, be sure. That this morning I was trying to get to y'all. I have a discussion about all this stuff that's going on in the world. And what's the latest event of these criminals escaping out of prison. But I had a lot of phone calls coming in this morning. I couldn't even really be on the live with you all. There's a lot going on over here. But we gonna find out. I'm just telling you, there's just so much wickedness going on in this world right now. And I tell people like this. You got to be connected in the Word of God for your safety. As you never know. You can't put your trust in no man. Especially not people that's too much into the world. You got to be in a place where a lot of people don't want to go. And that's to the Word of God. People hide from the truth. Okay? People wants to hide. People want to hide from the truth. People don't like the truth. The ways of the Lord is a strong tower. Proverbs 18, verses 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in and they are safe. What is the meaning of the ways of the Lord in the strong tower? This is the meaning. In the Bible, strong tower refers to the Lord as a source of protection, safety, and strength for those who trust in him. It's a metaphor used to describe how God shields and secures believers in times of danger or hardship. The praise often appears in the content of calling on God's name for protection. Let's go to Proverbs 18:10. Okay. I'm going to read from the New International Version. Of the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run in and they are safe. And we're going to go to verse 18. Okay. Casting the lot settles disputes and keeps strong opponents apart. A brother wronged is more unyielding than a fortified city. Disputes are like the barn gates of a citadel. Okay, I'm in that verse, but we are in verse 18. So you have to know. Oh God, here comes the door ring bell. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. So whenever you're going through troubles in your life and hardship and danger, like we are facing today, you have to call the name of the Lord for your protection, a shield of protection over your life, a shield of protection over your home life. Most and important of all, have a shield of protection over you. I was talking to my aunt today, and we talking about all the things that I've been hearing on the news and all the things that's been taking place in the world today, all the femicide, homicide, killings, deaths everywhere, husbands killing wives, wives killing husbands, and children killing their parents, and all these things are taking place in the world. Now we see that there's some dangerous criminals that have escaped from a prison, and the work comes from somewhere upper in high power, people of, wickedness in high places. We see that's going on. So my thing is to give you the warning. Get strong, get ready, and get protected in the word of God. I don't like guns in my house. I don't like those sort of things. I don't bring those things in my home because sometimes those things turn on you. Even though you have it for protection for your home, it can be against you more than for you. Look at just what happened. A man was protecting his home. He had to shoot somebody that was trying to break into his home, and guess what? The person, the suspect, ends up dying, and guess where he end up at? In jail without bond. Protecting his own home for somebody breaking an entry. People buy guns for those reasons, but sometimes it don't be in your best interest. It ended up turning on him for shooting the intruder. It turned on him. A woman found another woman in the bed with her husband, shoots the woman and kills the woman, and guess what? It turned on her. She's now in jail in second-degree murder for somebody coming into her home. Look at all the things that have taken place with gun holders. I've never been in favor of guns. Only people I think should have guns is not even police officers. It's people that's in military. That's the only people that, when they on military duty, is the only people, when they go to battle and go to war, is the people that should have guns. I don't think guns should be permitted in people's homes. When somebody break in, whatever, have a bat, have a knife, but no gun. You use whatever you can to fight off your intruder. Or keep the word of God in your home. In this house, we praise the Lord. In this house, God we serve. In this house, those things put in your home is your protection. The word of God scares people more than anything else. Anything else. You don't got the word of God in your home. You don't got the Lord protecting your home. Get some of these things out of your home. Guns is always not the best weapon to have to protect yourself from intruders. The best protection you can have is the word of God. And read it daily to prepare you for the day. Whatever what may come your way. That's how good God is. I'm a witness. I keep that stuff out of my house. I don't care. People are like, oh, well, somebody come in your house and try to do this, that, and the other. I said, look, I got the word of God. When it's my time, it's my time. That's all I'm going to say. But for now, I don't want no gun in my house. I don't want those things in my house because of the simple fact that I don't care if you got them in your house, get them out. You don't want that gun to turn on you. You don't want that gun to become the weapon that somebody gonna come in your house and use it on you, or you might use it on somebody and you end up going to jail. It's not always the best weapon to have in your home. Your home is a sanctuary. Your home should be always protected with the word of God. The spirit of the Lord is the word of the Lord is a strong tower. Knowing the Lord is a strong tower for you. That's your protection. And whenever you have to go up against anything that is evil, God knows how to put in your mind what to use at that time to defeat your enemy or defeat anything that come against you. He showed you in the book of David when he had to fight against Goliath. David didn't have a gun, a knife, or no kind of weapon. And what he had to use was what God allows him to use because he was a shepherd boy. He used what he knew he was good at, a slingshot with a rock. That's how he was able to defeat Goliath. Don't let nobody fool you. Oh, you got to have a gun when you go out in the street. Let me tell you something. Those things turn on you. It could either make you kill somebody and you be accused of murder. Okay? Or somebody could get a hold of your gun and kill you. Keep those things away from your home. Violence. If you think violence, violence will come to you. But if you think not of violence, but you think of love, peace, and protection within the Lord, that's your best protection. Too many people are dying so senselessly because they got guns. I don't know if I showed you the video of a woman who had a brother who was a part of a gang, ended up dying in some gang violence, in a gang shootout. Went to go bury her brother. And on the day she went to bury her brother, she was also slain and murdered and killed. And to this day, the people that killed her brother and her are not in custody, have not been found. Because of the simple fact that her brother was a part of a gang, and of course it was gun violence and shootings and everything else going on. Even though she went to go bury her brother, she probably ain't had a part of the shooting. But just having a gun, just her being associated with that kind of lifestyle in some kind of way connected to her own brother. I was just telling my auntie today, it's certain family members I don't deal with because they beat up on women. Males in my family that I know are bad men. They beat women. When I think of them saying they love me as a woman, a female in their family, and they go around and they woman beaters or men that had a history of violence against women, I don't deal with them. Any man that puts his hands on any female, being that I'm a female, and sometimes my mouth can be very, very, very dangerous. Now let's read this story about a woman who was killed. Okay?
We're watching Eyewitness News. We're live at 5.
This woman was killed due to the fact that this woman, okay, I don't know if you know this story of this woman, but I'm going to bring it to your attention. I'm going to say true crimes. Put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. This woman, she worked at a restaurant called Cookout. In Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay? And what happened is that one of the workers there was a young man that worked there at this place. And the young man that she worked with, she ended up she took a frying pan and hit the young man in the face with the frying pan. And when she hit the young man in the face with the frying pan, he ended up coming back with a gun and unaliving her. Okay, this woman, her life ended so drastically. But I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to look at it because Charlotte, North Carolina, restaurant. I'm trying to find the channel. And I'm trying to get the story, the details of the story for y'all. Just bear with me, y'all. And I read this, and when I came across this video, the young man, she took a frying pan and hit the man in the face. He came back with a gun. It wasn't on the inside. It wasn't on the inside. I saw the story and I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. This woman was shot and killed right there on the job. And this is what I tell you about guns. Violence. These kind of violence can end deadly. And when you put this stuff in your heart and your mind and you think about it on any day.
First at noon, Charlotte Mecklenburg police are searching for answers after a series of violent crimes over the weekend. Within the last 30 minutes, police identified 2 people killed in separate shootings. Jacelyn Horn died early Sunday.
This is not the story, y'all. This is not the story. But a woman was killed inside this restaurant. And when the people were calling, it was the people were calling to report the killing, the shooting, or whatever inside the restaurant. The workers that was there that witnessed this woman being shot dead in the restaurant because she took a frying pan and hit this young man in the face. And the young man went inside of wherever he went and pulled out a gun and shot her dead. I was like, where is the manager? Who was there to intervene or to stop this from being a fatal killing? Nobody was there to rescue this woman. But after she was shot dead and everything, the people had to actually, I'm sorry I have to look through it like this, but I saw it and I'm trying to figure out, let me do it this way. This happened in North Carolina. I said, what in the world is wrong with people today? What in the world is wrong with people today? She hit him in the face with a frying pan or whatever. Instead of him just coming back and throwing grease on her or doing something. But she ended up being killed.
Watching Eyewitness News, we're live at 5 o'clock.
We begin with that breaking news. 2 lives lost, all over an argument at work that exploded into a deadly shooting. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Wickersham.
I'm Erica Bryant. In just the past 2 hours, Millette Crosby pleaded guilty to killing Jacelyn Horn at a cookout restaurant. Our veteran crime reporter Glenn Counts was there in the courtroom and joins us live now. Glenn, you learned what happened in the moments before the gunfire.
Well, Erica, this was a case of workplace violence that the family of the victim believes could have been prevented. The murder occurred last March, and according to court statements, the victim Jacelyn Horn and the defendant Malik Crosby had been arguing on the job all day. At one point, Crosby cursed at Horn, and she threw a pan at him, striking him in the face. He then shot her 5 times, killing her. Prior to this, Crosby had never been in trouble with the law before and worked on a regular basis. In court, Horn's father said that the family forgives him.
It's hard because I'm the dad.
He's the father, and he forgive the man that killed his daughter. Now, how crazy can that be? If somebody kills and shoots your daughter down, how bad and violent can this woman have been that her own father forgive the killer for killing his daughter? You know, that is crazy. And you can tell. Let's go and listen to this.
And the dad, you always feel that you're supposed to be on watch for your children and to be there to protect them.
You must have used to curse him out, beat him up too.
So this is a wound that is going to have to heal in time.
Now, Crosby was initially charged with first-degree murder this afternoon.
He only getting 51 months.
Manslaughter and was sentenced to between 51 and 74 months in prison. He was given credit for 221 days that he spent in jail. Reporting live from the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Glenn Counts, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Glenn, thank you.
That just shows you how much her life was worth, right? Her life wasn't worth that much that this young man, for taking out the life of this woman who was a mother, but they said she was very volatile. She was very much of a person who did a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, a lot of yelling and screaming and whatever she was doing at work, and hit this man in the face with a frying pan. He ended up unaliving her, shooting her 5 times in the workplace, and only was given 51 months. That's not even 2 years completely. Maybe a year and a half or something, you would say, for his violence, for his murder, for this woman's life. And then the father going to talk about how he forgives the man for killing his daughter. So she must have not been a very liked person to actually, her own father, to say, to forgive her killer, Malik Crosby.
Right now at 5, a Charlotte man is facing murder charges after a woman was found shot several times at a cookout restaurant over the weekend. Police announced Malik Crosby's arrest today. He's facing first-degree murder charges. Jacelyn Horn died at the restaurant on Sunset Road early Sunday morning. Investigators say she was shot several times. Right now, it's still unclear exactly what led up to the shooting. We'll continue to monitor this story, and we'll update you once we learn more.
On March 17th, The cookout employees were ready to finish a few tasks in the restaurant before closing and leaving. While they were working on the preparations, they were interrupted by an altercation between co-workers that swiftly escalated. Tragic events occurred at a cookout in Charlotte when a regular argument turned into a violent confrontation that killed the 26-year-old mother. Numerous members of the community are in sorrow and are still processing the terrible consequences of the conflict as a result of this needless loss. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Jacelyn's family and friends.
Sometimes it's okay to be the villain in the made-up story that these people got going on in their mind. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm okay. I'm okay that in your story, I'm the villain. Because you the clown in mine. A whole clown.
One of my strongest soldiers. You don't
that's your motherfucking problem right there. Look at me,
You don't get to give up. You don't get to give up.
I'm tired. You keep putting me on the motherfucking front line like I'm a fucking Cyclops or some shit.
My thing is, where was the manager of this workplace? Why wasn't they able to see that this woman was suffering with some type of disorder? And she had no control over her violent behavior, in her violent mouth, in her actions towards others, her behavior towards others, that she shouldn't have been working there. She should have been immediately fired because she always cussed and always had some kind of outburst with someone. This could have protected her and this young man. But let's go on.
I'm a human being, bitch.
Don't curse. Don't
you
curse.
Know what? You know what?
You get to 2021?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. No, it does.
I'm tired, God. You beating the shit out of me this year. You think it's you up there having with the fruits and the motherfucking
No,
peace
I'm not.
and shit.
No,
I'm
I'm
down
not.
here fucking fight for my fucking life.
Don't I always show up for you?
You do show up after I'm almost long gone.
No. Jacelyn Lene Horn was born on December 26, 1997. Jacelyn was a mother who loved to work. Her family described Horn as a wonderful provider who worked long hours. She had a son, and she wanted to provide for him, and she did provide. Jacelyn was a mother to 7, a 5-year-old. The cookout on Sunset Road in Northwest Charlotte employed 26-year-old Jacelyn Horn, who had been there for 4 or 5 months. Horn lost her child's father in 2020 when her boy was still an infant. She was more than willing to put in a lot of effort and support her son, despite the fact that this would mean she would have to handle all child care duties alone. She was doing people's hair to supplement her income before she was hired. Fortunately, she was hired and was able to carry on doing hair part-time. She had a bright outlook and a desire to improve her son's and her own life.
Say. 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 Say.
It was a routine day for Horn. She left her son like she normally does, always thinking she would see him when she knocks off work, but tragically she would never see her 5-year-old son. When Jacelyn arrived at work, everything was running smoothly, and the evening started out like any other. Before clocking out that morning, the staff had closed the restaurant. The employees' members were tidying up before they left. Because they work together so often, the staff members joke, laugh, and play together practically as a family. Malik Crosby, 20, who had also begun working at the restaurant a few months prior, and Jacelyn Horn got into an argument as they were getting ready to finish a few tasks before it closed. Crosby pulled out a revolver and shot Horn 3 times as the confrontation grew more heated. After pulling a firearm and allegedly shooting Jacelyn Horn, Malik Crosby, the suspect, twisted a disagreement at work into a murder. On Sunday, March 17, 2024, soon after 5 a.m., North Division officers responded to a call for service of an assault with a deadly weapon resulting in injury in the 4300 block of Sunset Road. Upon arrival, officers discovered a female victim with multiple gunshot wounds. Medic pronounced the subject dead at the scene. Homicide unit investigators responded to the area to undertake an investigation, while crime area search processed the scene and collected physical evidence. Representatives from CMPD Operations Command, Victim Services, Medic, and the Charlotte Fire Department also participated. The inquiry into this matter is ongoing.
Remember, some words got exchanged. Next thing I know, I heard 3 gunshots.
A cookout restaurant employee talks only to WCCB about what led up to the shooting death of his coworker and friend. Jaslyn Horn was shot to death inside that restaurant early Sunday morning. CMPD arrested her coworker for the crime. WCCB Charlotte's Trish Williford spoke to a man who witnessed the horrific shooting.
She's a very cool person, loving, you know what I'm saying, offering everybody rides home. In my eyes, she couldn't do nothing wrong.
Kwame Hayes worked with Jaslyn Horn for only about a month at this cookout restaurant on Sunset Road, but he was immediately drawn to her.
The song she sang, she was very vocal. She loved singing at work, making time go by. So, other than, I got nothing but good memories. Nothing but good memories.
Hayes says he will cherish those memories forever, but now he's living a nightmare. The 33-year-old was standing just feet away from his friend when she was shot inside the restaurant early Sunday morning. He says his shift began just like any other night on the job.
Cookouts, it's a fast-paced job, so especially on those 2 nights, it gets a little chaotic in there, but you know what I'm saying, nothing more than regular horseplay, competitive talk at work.
Around 4:30 a.m., the 5 employees had shut the restaurant down and were cleaning up. That's when Hayes says an argument broke out between Horn.
Subject dead at the scene. Homicide unit investigators responded to the area to undertake an investigation, while crime area search processed the scene and collected physical evidence. Representatives from CMPD Operations Command, Victim Services, Medic, and the Charlotte Fire Department also participated. The inquiry into this matter is ongoing.
Remember, some words got exchanged. Next thing I know, I heard 3 gunshots.
A cookout restaurant employee talks only to WCCB about what led up to the shooting death of his coworker and friend. Jaslyn Horn.
You know, the way you die is how you lived. And this woman obviously was not very much liked. She was probably very chaotic, caused a lot of problems around a lot of people, started a lot of fights, and just kept a lot of nonsense going. This young man, from what his employer or whatever said about him, was that he was always on time, always was a good worker. His character, never been in any trouble before. So somehow or the other, she got this man triggered. Okay? Young man triggered. That's why he was given 51. Even her own father didn't even come to her defense. If you listen to her story, like at the end of her life, she has this one person who's fending for her. He don't look too kosher himself. And that was more like saying she was very liked by him and da-da-da-da-da. He probably liked all the drama and being around the drama with her and all that other stuff. And she showed off the way she did. And the father of her child is dead. So she was a single mother left on her own to raise a son. People die the way they live. You are a problematic person that causes a whole lot of drama around people. You start trouble. You start all kind of nonsense and talk, carry on. They said they were arguing throughout the day. This guy was really tired of her. And if you look, I just looked through all these channels to see how much people had to say about this woman, if there was anything good. Now, this ain't the original video that I saw, but this is like not the first. This is the second video that I saw that they talking about. And I just wanted to bring this to people's attention, like why I talk about the Lord. And a lot of people may not like to hear about it. And I'm not saying that to really hurt people's feelings or whatever. I just want people to live and live abundantly and to live in peace and to live with love. And sometimes if some things are just too problematic for you, you just got to walk away. Like I was talking to my aunt today. I said, look, there's just certain family members I'm just not going to want to be or hang around. I don't care. They family or whatever, but they too problematic. I don't like drama. I really don't. I like to enjoy myself, have a good time, have fun, laugh while I'm here on this earth, and enjoy life. I don't care too much for drama, okay? And when I talk about drama, I'm talking about violence. I don't care about wanting to fight, wanting to do all of that. That stuff does not bring me any kind of happiness. That stuff don't bring me no type of joy. That stuff makes me sad, makes me depressed. Don't make me feel like having a good moment in life. Don't want to feel memories of life or anything. I don't like drama. So this young lady, sad to know that she's gone and everything and had to leave a son behind, and this son now don't have a mother or a father, and God knows what he's gonna grow up to be like, regardless who's gonna raise him. But I hope they have some kind of understanding and some kind of wisdom and knowledge and something about the Lord to raise him up in the world that we're gonna live in, because if he's gonna grow up with the temperament that he has from his mother, oh Lord. I don't know if any of y'all familiar with the prayer of Jabez, but that prayer says, the prayer of Jabez is about somehow God holding you and keeping you through all the troubles you're going to face in your life, because nobody really knows about that prayer of Jabez or what this young man's troubled life was going through. The person, the author of that prayer, Father, keep me from grieving anyone. The prayer of Jabez is a very, very deep prayer. It's a very small verse in the Bible, but it meant so much about whatever Jabez's life was in head of, that he needed God to be in his life, to hold him. And that's what this young man right now needs. And that's what a whole lot of children in the world needs, that's born with these parents that dropped them off here and had no knowledge of the Lord. And what they're going to grow up, and their parents died through this type of violence, murder. This woman should have kept, if she really was a mother that loved her child or whatever, kept your mouth shut. You know what you got to do. You got a job to do. You got to raise a son up in the world. And one thing you want to do is be here to make sure you set him on the right path. But she got in some volatile, crazy, chaotic argument with some young man who just had enough of her and had to just end her life. She was a 30-something years old woman, which is not that young to know better, in the workplace. And she was just going in on this young man, threw a frying pan in his face, and this young man was like having it. And he took her out of here. Let's listen to the rest of the story.
Was shot to death inside that restaurant early Sunday morning. CMPD arrested her co-worker for the crime. WCCB Charlotte's Trish Williford spoke to a man who witnessed the horrific shooting.
She's a very cool person, loving, you know what I'm saying, offering everybody rides home. In my eyes, she couldn't do nothing wrong.
Kwame Hayes worked with Jaslyn Horn for only about a month at this cookout restaurant on Sunset Road, but he was immediately drawn to her.
The song she sang, she was very vocal. She loved singing at work and making time go by. So, other than, I got nothing but good memories. Nothing but good memories.
Hayes says he will cherish those memories forever, but now he's living a nightmare. The 33-year-old was standing just feet away from his friend when she was shot inside the restaurant early Sunday morning. He says his shift began just like any other night on the job.
Cookouts, it's a fast-paced job, so especially on those 2 nights. It gets a little chaotic in there, but you know what I'm saying? Nothing more than regular horseplay, competitive talk at work.
Around 4:30 a.m., the 5 employees had shut the restaurant down and were cleaning up. That's when Hayes says an argument broke out between Horn and 20-year-old Malik Crosby, a fellow coworker.
So I remember just being there in front of Jaslyn. Remember some words got exchanged. next thing I know, I heard 3 gunshots.
Hayes watched in horror as Horn was gunned down. He says it all happened so quickly and so unexpectedly. Everyone was trying to run away from the gunfire. Hayes says he managed to protect a colleague during the chaos.
He actually froze up. That I kind of grabbed my manager, brought him to safety as well. But like I said, next thing I know, it was me, my manager, and my coworker pinned in the bathroom. In silence.
When police arrived, Hayes and the other employees walked back into the dining area. You can hear his reaction on this 911 recording.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
CMPD charged Malik Crosby for Horn's murder.
I think we was all supposed to die that night.
Why do you think you didn't?
I'm a firm believer of God. I mean,
Hayes is now struggling to cope with the loss of his beloved friend.
I ended up zoning out. I was driving the other day. I zoned out thinking about her. Ended up bumped into the back of somebody's car. So it's taking a toll on me.
Trish Williford, WCCB News.
Workers at the cookout restaurant claim to have known both victims and to think highly of them. They were surprised by what had happened and do not know how it became worse. They asserted that the dispute also arose over who should and shouldn't clean. Crosby is still being held without bond in jail. We hope Horn's family is recovering as they continue to lament her untimely demise, and we express our sympathies to everyone that knew and loved Jaycelyn Horn. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.
Okay, y'all, I am truly sorry about all that's going on with me right now and how I'm doing this content with you all today. But I just wanted to just let you know, like in the workplace and everything, we don't get into no confrontation with no one, okay? We stay vigilant, but we stay calm and we stay loving, kind, and respectful. If you can't work that kind of way, then you shouldn't be working. You should be going for your disability because you have some mental illness or you have some things that you're just not able to cope with. Okay? That's the way you can be honest with yourself. That's all I'm saying. Just be honest with yourself. If you have some, don't try to go and fit where you don't know where you don't fit in at. This woman definitely had some issues she was dealing with. And it's sad that the workplace did not provide any kind of help for people who was mentally ill. This woman was going through something in her life. Not saying it's good what happened to her. I don't think that is good at all. Let's get it right now. I don't think what happened to this woman was good at all. And I think that the workplace should be, the family, if anything, should be looking for a lawsuit against the company. Because you knew that this was an ongoing dispute or argument or fight against this worker. You knew she's only been there for 4 months. So obviously you knew something was going on with her. Why didn't anybody recognize this? You mean to tell me you that desperate that you want workers there, that you don't care about the endangering the life of people, that you will actually hire people that have this kind of volatile volatile people like this? This is, to me, this is sad. Because that young man could have been avoided. There could have been some way like, okay, we don't want to hurt her. Okay, take it easy. You take off for the rest of the day, whatever. You take off for the rest of the day or whatever, and we're going to terminate you for this employment because we can't have this in the workplace. We have to keep the workplace safe. That should have been avoided. Somebody knew it was a long-term thing going on, and this young lady's life could have been saved, and this young man's life could have been saved, that he didn't have to come to that point where he had to pull out a gun and off this woman's life. This is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff people don't look at. If you saw somebody that's angry and it's volatile and the person coming in and with the trauma that she had coming in her life of losing the father of her child and she was by herself, struggling to take care of ends meet, to keep her family going or whatever like that. That's why they ask for references and everything from your job before even hiring you. What was your, what kind of person you was to work with? You know? You're okay? I'm okay, Frankie. But what I'm saying is that they should have never have brought somebody like that in the workplace. They shouldn't have never allowed this stuff to go on as long as it has gone on. You know, somebody should have been able to evaluate this woman on her 90 days of employment there. And if they say she's been acting like this for quite some time, they could have said, you know what? Right now we can't take the risk of having you here because we right now see that there is some, see that she go get some medical treatment, go see that she gets some anger management. Wait, what's going? Yeah, the world is gone. Yes, you're right. The world is gone. It's like so much people not taking into consideration. So much that people are just not looking into in the workplace. People are dealing with a whole lot of trauma. And these things should not be taken lightly. You should be really looking into things like this woman is dealing with the fact that her father of her child was murdered. We don't know what she was battling with. She should have been given some time off from work for disability, temporarily in disability for her mental health. And her child should have been getting some more support for the fact that they lost in some kind of violence or damage. Like, people need to take that into consideration in the workplace before you hire someone. And if they a single mother or whatever like that, like, if you single, how she was able to get some help or whatever like that. It something could have been offered, mental health treatment, some kind of medical treatment or whatever could have been help for her and her family. This is disgusting. The way the world has become so heartless like this. It's so heartless out here today. And I feel bad that even though I know she was a violent woman, but I still that shouldn't have, that could have been avoided. Because we all get off some days, even me. That's why when I get to the point where I feel like I'm done had enough and I'm ready to snap, I take some time away. I call off from work. I call off for a couple of days. Look, I tell them I'm just not feeling well today. Because I'm on the point where I want to come into work and I want to do some damage. For real. It gets to that point sometimes. So I call off. Just so I could get my mental health together. Sometimes you're going through stuff. You can't manage. You can't function. The mind gets sick. I just want to encourage young ladies today. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't become a single parent. Don't. You're not married. You're not getting along. Even from whatever things you might see. Don't put yourself in that condition. Be with somebody who's healthy minded. Know as much as you know about their background. Know as much as you can about their family, whatever. But don't put yourself in that position. And I'm almost 60 years old. And I'm just telling you, I lived and I seen a whole lot of stuff. Nothing surprises me these days because people don't do too much research. People don't get into no background. People don't spend time to get to really know people before they really jump all in. They just want to be happy. They just want to be for the moment. But you got to think long term. Don't just think for the moment. Don't. This is a different generation we dealing with right now. Very different. From what me and my auntie was talking about it. I said, thank God me and my husband known each other 2 years before we got married. And even then, and now, I still look out for things. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I shut my eyes or I question things. I talk about things. Even if he don't want to talk about it, I be like, okay. But I find some kind of way to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know what's going on in your head. If you looking to kill me or try to, don't put me on no life support. I keep my own insurance policy. And that's something that I keep private. I don't even let you know about it. Because, see, I don't want you killing me for no insurance. Seriously, I tell them I ain't got one. I ain't got one. You ain't gonna kill me and try. You know, people be doing some crazy things when they get desperate and they want money. Even your family members. I had an aunt that I went to go stay with at one time. Was asking me about my insurance policy. Do I got any insurance? What kind of question is that to ask me? Because the only thing I could think of is that you looking to have an insurance policy on me so you could kill me and get some money out of desperation. It's a whole lot of things you got to look at today, because people are just off the hedge. People are crazy, and it make you even think about the people that you with, even your family members. Think about your husband, whoever you with. This world we living in today is not safe at all. So you got to stay prayed up, and you got to be ahead of the game. Don't put nothing past nobody. That's all I'm saying. In the world, it's sad to think that way, but it is what it is. Years ago, I didn't think that way. We went out, we partied, we had fun, we did stupid things, but we came home alive. We got out alive. You know, today ain't no chances of that, because everybody running around with a gun, everybody ready to shoot somebody or stab you to death. Even in school, you send your kids to school today. All these school shootings and killings. It was just another one I watched. I was like, "Dad, what is this stuff? What kind of crazy stuff is this?" Kids is getting ready for a party and everything. It end up being a shooting and a killing. They got into a fight. Next thing you know, one pulls out a gun, shoots and kills, and unalive another young teenager. Teenager just dying so senselessly. It's just the way it is, and that's what weirdness I'm trying to bring here on my channel, and I'm trying to bring it to you, and I'm trying to keep you in the Word of God about where's the safest place for you right now is the Word of God. Keep God in your life and believe in it. Just believe in it. Keep you safe and out of harm's way, because it's so crazy out here. So with that being said, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta finish concentrating on what I'm doing right now. I'm cooking and all kind of other things. But I told you I was gonna go and come back, because this morning I wasn't able to complete my video about the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in and they are safe. Proverbs 18. I might have to change it from my title, but it's in Proverbs 18. Read the Proverbs tonight if you find your time to sit down and talk to the Lord. Just read that and be safe. God bless you. I love you, and peace.